Hello and welcome to the Voices of Victory podcast. I am your host, Mario Di Leone. Welcome back, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another Voices of Victory episode. And this is where we turn the whispers of doubt to the roars of triumph. I'm Mario Di Leone, and today we're going to talk about a very essential topic, the self-love blueprint. It is just as essential as your morning coffee, and that is self love. There's some people that actually believe that it isn't possible. And I'm here to tell you that it's very possible. It's so possible that there's actually a formula to it. And guess what? The other folks out there, the other podcasters, influencers, they do not have this information. So I'm here to share it with you so you could have that. And just remember where it came from. And here's the deal that I want you to understand, because I want you to really think about what I'm going to bring across. Hold up, and before you decide to roll your eyes and think, oh, not another sickening self-talk love video. No, that's not what we're talking about. This is going to be juicy, digestible. It's going to have understanding. It's going to transform the way you see yourself. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss a single crumb of this self-love pile. So you've got to watch this all the way through, because the first point is going to be just as impactful as the last point. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and smash that thumbs up button. So the very first point that we're going to bring to the table is you can't just dive into self-love tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. It actually has to go in a sequence. It has to go in a formula. And this is what other influencers don't get, or they've got it twisted and they're not relaying the information properly. Here's what I want to explain to you. You've got to start with step one. Before you can love yourself, you have to start by self-liking. You literally have to self-like yourself. You've got to recognize the value of who you are and your unique qualities. Right there. The pain point behind this whole idea is that people fall into the constant comparison of themselves to other people, and they feel like they're never good enough. And that's what social media will do when you start checking out other people and start comparing them to yourself. So what is the solution of this? Well, there are daily actions that you can actually take with this. You've got to start celebrating your daily wins. At the end of the day, have a little journal and write down the daily wins that you've achieved for that day. Just 3 things that you did well, or something that you actually appreciated about yourself. And that is going to be crucial. Another thing you want to do is engage in joyful activities. Dedicate time to hobbies and things that nourish your heart, nourish your mind, and put good things in there. Things that bring you joy, not indulgence and losing your way. This is all about reinforcing your individuality. The belief that you want to cultivate with this is that you're worthy of appreciation for what you actually bring to the world. That's most important. So I want you to understand you need to think of self-liking as an appetizer for your self-love feast, if you will. So you got to start appreciating your own secret sauces. And now, before you can move on, you have to go to self-liking first. Self-liking is the first part of the phase. And that's the thing. These are phases. You can't just jump in all the way. It doesn't work that way. Regardless of what all of the influencers and gurus are telling you out there, you've got to do it in this order. That brings us over to the next key point. The next phase is self-respect. So self-liking is number one. You got to do that first, and self-respect comes second. Valuing yourself and setting healthy boundaries with other people. Boundaries is a gateway, not a wall. The pain point that's here is people say yes to things that you don't want to do. And you do that just to please other people. So you've got to practice boundary setting with that. The daily actions of what that looks like is start advocating for your needs, start asserting your needs, practice expressing your needs verbally, along with preferences in your daily interactions. Share your preferences with people. Honor your commitments. The biggest commitment is not always the commitment you have with other people, but it's the commitment you actually make to yourself. You've got to honor those things because that's what's in regards to following your own promises and building trust in your own reliability. Your reliability is going to be determined by the promises you make and keep to yourself. That's so important. The belief to cultivate with this is that your needs and your boundaries are important. And guess what? They deserve to be respected. Self respect is literally like your personal bouncer. It ensures only the right vibes to get through. So you got to start those VIP boundaries. And the self respect that's here also relates to self care. Self care is wake up in the morning, take a shower, work out, exercise, do things that cultivate caring about your body, caring about who you are. Even if it feels weird and off, do it anyway, because it is what we call the special idea of behavior activation. When you do self care over and over again, you are activating that behavior. That's what I'm going to say about that. And that is, again, part of the second phase. The third phase is self compassion. The opposite of judgment is compassion. If you're constantly judging yourself all the time because of comparison in the outside world, then you're missing out on self compassion. So the pain point is that you are your own worst critic and that maybe you can't forgive yourself for past mistakes, past ideas. What are the daily actions to take? You've got to practice self compassion talk. That's important. Self talk. And now, self talk that is in the form of you, using the word you. So we call this second person self talk. You can do this. You are smart. You are competent. Speak to yourself as if you were speaking to somebody else with you. And that's going to actually help you. If you do 3 days of that, you'll be amazed at what that can actually do. So when you are facing challenges, speak to yourself with the same kindness that you would for someone you truly care about. Very important. Now, when you engage in self-care practices, this is going to be part of it as well, because you need to prioritize that self-care back to self-care to nourish that mind, nourish that body, healthy eating, relaxation techniques, honoring your body, and not burning yourself out. The belief to cultivate with this is that you deserve kindness and understanding, especially when you face difficulties, right? You have to have a very strong why you do certain things. Because if you don't, then what will happen is when life throws a fastball at you, that reason why will be too weak and it'll crumble and you will cave and have difficulties under stress and problems in life. So the next part of the phase is self-acceptance. Accept yourself as to who you are and accept yourself as to where you are right now. And why is where you are just as important as who you are is because you might be comparing yourself to someone else. Oh, well, they have a career, they have this, they're more successful. Their journey is not your journey is not their journey, period. Self-acceptance, accept who you are and accept where you are right now. In order to understand where you are is to know where you're going. That's the beautiful thing about that. The pain point is that people feel like they have to be perfect to be worthy of love and acceptance, which obviously is a pain point. The daily actions: acknowledge your feelings, allow yourself to experience the emotions without judgment, recognize them as just valid parts of your human experience. That's right there. End of day or middle of day, reflect on your personal growth, review and progress, and acknowledge areas where you've grown and foster a sense of self-acceptance. I accept myself as I am, even though I have this problem, I still love and accept myself. You might have heard that before, and it's very true. Now, what we can say is that perfection is an absolute myth. It's an absolute myth. Embracing your quirks and the messy parts of who you are and the flaws. That makes you authentic. That makes you real. Let's celebrate our perfectly imperfect selves. And check out my book, The Beautiful Flaw, on Amazon. It's all about that. And there's not a single person that hasn't read it that came back to me and said, you know what, my life is different now as a result. So that's what I'm going to say. So in closing, the final concept of what we want to understand is like, this is a journey that we just went on today, from self-liking to self-accepting to unpacking the entire suitcase of love and discover the treasures within. You got to remember, this is not a one-time trip. It's a lifetime adventure. So in summary, you've got to do it in this order: self-liking, self-respect, self-compassion, and self-care. And of course, having the self-talk in second person language, like you being your verbal coach. And finally, self-acceptance. You have to accept yourself where you are and accept yourself as you are, right? Because that's the thing. We don't see people as they are. We see people as we are. And we need to see ourselves with a better lens so we can actually love who you are. Because when you wake up in the morning, that is going to literally be the core spinal column behind your direction in life and where you want to go. So if this episode resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone that needs a little extra love today. And guess what? If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode of Voices of Victory. Smash that thumbs up button. Share it with someone who needs it. If you know somebody who actually needs it, share it with them. Until next time, keep loving yourself, understanding it's a process from point A to point B, and unapologetically be yourself. Be you and be yourself. You've got this. See you on the next episode.